Many of you have seen my Chinese Genesis atomizer, which I reviewed quite a while ago. I used the atomizer for over a year and frankly got a bit tired of the maintenance. The biggest Genesis problem is obviously the continuation of its biggest feature, the 100% metal mesh wick. Whatever you do to the mesh, you still get that subtle but noticeable metal taste in your vapor. A bigger issue is the varying charring of the mesh, meaning varying conductance and, in the end, coil resistance, since coil may start to short-circuit when the mesh becomes a conductor again. Even if there was a dielectric, non-conductor mesh, you will still have to remove it for cleaning more often than you want. So from this point of view, disposable fabric wicks seem to be more convenient. Throw away the used one and install a new one, charring not required. And then a buddy of mine showed me his Kayfun at the bar. And I took it into my mouth and sucked on. Well, you know how it happens. Late night bar, you're relaxed by the alcohol and feel so close to your friend. But not to worry, we washed the mouthpiece. Unfortunately, we didn't have disposable ones, as it is usually the case. I liked Kayfun and decided to get one. Unfortunately, original Kayfun costs way more than $100, and the waiting period is a couple months. I'm sick and tired of those waitings, so I decided to get a Chinese clone, as I've seen quite positive reviews for this Kitaifun, or Chinafun as it is dubbed on Russian e-cig forums. By the way, the name Kayfun is a slang word for kefir, meaning pleasure. For instance, the milk drink is called kefir. But in street jargon, the word kaif usually means the kick you get from drugs, and later on it transferred on everything intensely pleasant after a long craving, like a well-deserved sea vacation after a hell of a work, or a bottle of chilled drink in hot water. Kayfun is someone who gets kaif. Anyway, I got mine from a local reseller for about $50. It turned out that was more than twice the price compared to direct shipping from China manufacturer. Well, it hurts a little bit, but I didn't have to wait a month to get the package. The atomizer comes in this cute little box. Together, best cooperation. Fuck my ass. We're living together, and still it's a farewell, and maybe we'll come back. Okay, unboxing. Package includes hex wrench for adjustments, spare screws, and a tiny screwdriver with blue handle. Little cutie. And I was about to order a keychain screwdriver. Also included a couple ready-made coils, spare O-rings, and the device itself. I like that it has spare screws bundled, as those small screws are just prone to be lost. The mouthpiece is metal. The size is standard, so you can replace it with any standard mouthpiece you have. With a drip tip, you can use the device for dripping, as the huge hole is right above the coil. The filling port is on the lower side of the device and is corked with a screw. This is not exactly convenient, as you have to unscrew the atomizer from the battery mode every time for refilling. The most of the liquid is stored in the upper part of the atomizer. The transparent window does not reach that high, so you can't really use it for monitoring liquid level while using or refilling. You can't refill it by unscrewing the lower part, as the liquid will pour through the drip tip, and you can't fill it in by unscrewing the upper part, as the liquid will go out of the air intake hole. As you can see, the device can be completely disassembled, which makes cleaning and maintenance much easier. The key to high performance without charring is correctly installed and placed wick. The setup that works for me is having the coil run parallel to the screw mounts and as close to them as possible, as the ends of the coil heat first. Another important thing is not to clog the air intakes with the wick. It should be close to them, but without covering them, so trim the ends of the wick accordingly. As for the wick's material, I almost completely switched from silica fiber to natural fiber. That is medical bondage cotton. I want to try bamboo fiber, but haven't got it yet. The coil should be classic 2.1 ohm. The biggest problem with this is that once you assembled and filled in the atomizer and then want to change something, you have to drain the tank, which rarely can be done without liquid spilling all around. For filling, I recommend to use bottles with metal needle nose. If you get a correct size bottle, it may fit in standard dual 1960-50 battery container instead of the second battery. Throw in a spare coil, that tiny screwdriver, and this set will solve virtually any vaping problem in the field. This is how Kayfun looks on my device, which is a Vemo. Go see my review for this Vemo to see how I solved the issue with gaping hole between the atomizer and the connector. One of my viewers gave a clue why this gap is present in the first place. This is to let those atomizers sucking air for the connector breathe. Frankly, I forgot those exist, even though my channel has a review of such atomizers. My battery mod has matte finish, while the Kayfun was only available glossy back then. I think now they offer a washed finish. Well, let's try to vape. It is a lot of vape. Tasty vape. Better taste than in the Genesis, and surely thicker. The temperature is right. Personally, I was afraid a coil so low will give cold vape, but that's not the case. The vape is hot enough. The only issue so far is that hissing noise generated by the air intake. Screwing the controlling needle in or out doesn't make a difference. Clearing the intake with a paper clip also doesn't help. Forum gurus say the sound will go away in a month, but I've been using this for about 4 months already and the sound is still here. Apart from the hissing, the quality is great and worth even the $2.50 price for it. For the money requested by the manufacturer, that's a real deal. You get a well-designed, well-built atomizer made out of durable, beautiful, and inert material.